This is not
And
common.
how old are you? Just tell them how old you are.
I just turned 16 not too long ago.
That's insane. $40,000 in a month at 16 years old.
Yes, sir.
This client is actually 16, 17, I believe, still in high school, running one of the fastest growing AI infrastructure agency and business that we've partnered up with in the last 90 days. He started early in this trend of AI, okay? Learned how to integrate AI agents, and I believe 4 months ago, learned about clientacquisition.io, which is our business. We partner with people who are experts, agency owners who want to get into building and releasing infrastructures. Got into NBL, learned about our model of how to sell infrastructures instead of just selling time or services. Then ended up making sense of actually becoming a partner once it was making 10K per month. And first month he joined, he made $42,000 that month. First week of the second month, made $27,000 in that week in cash collected. Okay, this interview was shot, I believe, in January. So right now I'm releasing this in March. So he's actually collected in the last 90 days or so over $110,000. And compared to last year's cash collected, he only made $60,000 for the year of 2023. He's already at 110K cash collected. So just wanted to give context because this was shot a few months ago, or at least like 45 days ago. Sunday, March 24th, I'm actually doing a webinar presenting the AI infrastructure that he's selling and that also other partners are selling in GCP. So if you guys want to get into AI and want to learn how to build and release infrastructures into businesses, then well, first of all, check this interview, learn about his transformation, and make sure you click the link below, register for the training and the webinar, and make sure you show up because we actually predict that there will be over 3,000 people applying to join the webinar, and we only have 500 seats available. So click the link below. I hope you guys will enjoy this interview. So find it helpful.
All right. So today we have, you want to
Wyatt?
introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. Wyatt.
What do you do, Wyatt?
I build AI growth infrastructures into businesses. Specifically, I give it to agency owners and then also help them build it for their clients as well.
Love it. Love it. And how did you get started?
Yeah, dude. So do you want like the full backstory or do you want like
Yeah, just give us the backstory, but just, it's a long story, so make it short.
Yeah, I'll make it short. So I started off doing pressure washing with my grandma's pressure washer. Made loads of money, but it was really hard. So I wanted to do online business. Ended up going into like Iman Gadzhi's whole loophole. Didn't work out because he doesn't provide real value. And then I ended up going more into like white label SaaS with Go High Level. That's how I made my first 10K online. And then over time, that kind of took me into a whole nother loophole, which was AI and like the automation space. I got connected with a bunch of big guys in the AI space and really networked with them. And now I'm in a position where I kind of am able to use a lot of these AI softwares, like Air, like other things. You can check me out on YouTube. Like there's a million videos about that. But I'm in a position where now it took months, but now I'm at a point where I became like an absolute expert at AI for businesses, and not like commodity AI, like chatbots and automation, but like real AI that actually helps businesses.
Love it. Love it. Okay, let's backtrack a little bit. So you went into Iman's course. What service did you want to sell when you were in Iman's course?
Yeah, I wanted to do marketing, but I didn't have a niche. Like I would message them from my Instagram like business account. So it was like messaging from highly marketing, like random ladies like knitting baskets on Instagram, trying to sell them like 4K marketing retainers. It was kind of crazy, but yeah,
Wow.
it did work out.
Yeah, and then you moved to, yeah, I've seen this trend where people are pushing people to start GHL, like software and like subscription. How did that work out? I don't really personally understand that business. I guess a lot of people are sold into it because of how perceived,
Easy, bro. Yeah.
how easy it looks. But in my opinion, it's like, why would someone pay you for a CRM and keep paying you every month? Like,
Exactly.
there's
Yeah,
no
that was my problem. Yeah, I made like my first like 10K doing it. So I sold it at 297, literally just the software, nothing else with it.
yeah.
But my problem was I had like a 7-day free trial and churn was insane. Even my customers, like I never had one person stay for more than a month because it's
Wow.
just like I just kind of threw them in. It was like middle of the jungle, like go find your tools and work out.
Yeah.
It's like didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where people need to understand that like for software to work, and this is why I personally like I stay away from software until it's my main thing. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people think you can just leverage GHL and sell like
Yeah.
subscriptions, but it's like no, software works because it was creating a recurring value, right? If the person doesn't use it, and it create recurring value, then there is no recurring payments that are going to come after that first in payment. They're going to leave, they're going to churn, right? So when you
Yeah.
just sell a CRM, and the reason why I want to emphasize this in this chat is because it's super important to understand this. If your client is not using the platform, they're not going to stay,
Oh yeah.
right? So even imagine churn at $290 is ridiculous.
Ad
And you
spend.
and the thing is that it takes the same amount of work to collect that $200 as it takes to collect $10,000.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
All right. So maybe we can talk about that after. We'll talk about, some of your wins. Okay, cool. So you went from that, then you got introduced to Air.ai, then started going through um, this wormhole or this industry of AI and automation. Walk us through how you got a little bit more introduced into Air.ai, actually. I think that would be
Yeah,
good.
so I actually joined their coaching program. We were talking about it a little bit before this, but they had an old coaching program helping high ticket online business owners. It was the founder was Caleb Maddox, and he made like 250 grand when he was 14. So it was like
Hmm.
really appealing to me at a young age. Like, okay, yeah, and like I ended up joining the program, and then he found out that I was like a 15-year-old in his program, and he really thought it was cool. Same
Yeah.
with some co-founders at Air, and they really like helped build me up. And eventually they're like, hey, Wyatt, we built this new software. We're looking for some beta testers to really come in and try it out. And I was like, heck yeah, dude, let's try it. And at the time, this was like 6 months ago, so middle of summer. It was like really bad. Like Air.ai was terrible. You could not get a straight conversation with the AI.
Yeah.
It was really bad, but it was like one of those things where it's bad, but you see a lot of potential in it. And I was
Hmm.
like asking him, bro, like, you gotta let me resell this. There has to be some way I can give this to my clients. He was like, no, no, it just wasn't their plan because they kind of went with a model where it's more like what McKinsey's doing, where they constantly built softwares. Like when I joined that coaching program, I got 4 lifetime accesses to 4 different softwares, and that's what Air
Mm.
was initially kind of, I think, supposed to be. But
Yeah.
over time, they realized the true potential at giving it away at like a free, but back end cost for minutes. And
Yeah.
that's what they're doing now. But I was like, yeah, there's got to be some way. But eventually, they opened like a reseller program. I got like a pretty killer deal because I had that prior relationship, so I didn't have to pay 100 grand. So that was pretty awesome. Um, but yeah, I ended up getting in, started using it. At the time, it was still pretty bad, but I had the potential. I kind of risked it with that one. Used like all my money from reselling Go High Level to get into that. And
Yeah.
then, over the time horizon of like summer to November, I didn't get any clients. I think I did like some small like freelance work for a couple guys who
Yeah.
were already in the Air ecosystem, just asking for help because they knew I was kind of like an expert at that point.
Hmm.
And over time, like in the November, that's when I started going out and selling it. And I was selling it for like not end of November, more midway November. I was selling it for
Yeah.
like 997 one-time fees. And eventually I joined GCP and Mr. Serge told me not to sell it for $1,000. And I raised the price and it's been like crazy since. So I raised it up to 12, got a 12K deal. Since then, I've been doing deals. So I'm a little bit still lenient on the pricing going forward. That's not something I'm going to be lenient on, but I've dropped down to like 6K. And right now, so far within the last like 30 days, I've done $40,000 selling it. So it's doing pretty good.
That's insane. That's insane. And how old are you? Just tell them how old you are.
I just turned 16 not too long ago.
That's insane. $40,000 in a month at 16 years old.
Yes, sir.
Like what the actual fuck? Like for me, like let's just take a moment. Because for me, I'm in this space. I'm getting old, right? Now I'm 25, so I'm like, 16 is you're 9 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be insane. Like, I'm not trying to bash anyone, but like Iman Gadzhi did not make 40K a month when he was 16. He didn't get started until like 17. So it's like insane. I'm excited
Yeah.
for where I'm gonna be, man.
Like wow. Like, I mean, it's all from your decision making, right? You made the decision that led you here. Everyone who's watching this, I mean, shout out to you guys. You guys at least are in tune, are dialed in, are tapped into the source. But imagine all the other people on this planet who are making decisions to maybe instead of watching this interview, they're watching some entertainment like the Nelk Boys or some weird shit, right? Like you're out here actually living the life. You could live the life you want. Others are watching others live the life, you know?
Yeah.
So cool. So yeah, so let's walk through. Okay, so you didn't necessarily join GCP. You joined Natural Born Leader
Yeah.
first. Walk
Natural
us
born
through
leaders.
walk me through the process. So how did you find me first?
Yeah, I ended up finding you from my friend. His name's Adam. So he joined NBL. He was like, bro, there's this guy. I've been following him for so long. He's an absolute killer. He gives some insane insights. And I was like, that's pretty sick, bro. And he's like, crazy part is like the group saved $49. And I was like, dude, that'd be stupid not to pay that. So I joined and I was like, dude, this is insane. Like the amount
Yeah.
of value that I got. And that was right around I also attended some of your webinar that you did a little bit before launching MBO. Not all
Yeah.
of it because I had like
The
school,
challenge.
so I wasn't able to show to like half of it. But some
Yeah.
days I was able to get out of school a little bit early. I actually asked my mom to skip school an hour, like one of the days, so I could come and
Wow.
see one of the days when you were. I think it was like talking about acquisition or something. But
Okay.
yeah, I went through that and I got that value, and I ended up making like my first couple $1,000 just in MBO. And I just like realized I was like, holy cow, bro! If he's giving me this much for 49, imagine like for his higher end program GCP, like it would be
Yeah.
insane. So I ended up joining it because I mean I'd made like such a crazy return on MBO, so I was like, okay, let me do GCP, and it ended up working on GCP too. Like I made my return in like a week.
Yeah, because how when did you join GCP?
I think I joined like December 5th to 12th or somewhere in there, like early
Yeah.
December, but not super early.
Yeah, and for those who are asking, right now we're January 17th as we're recording this, and in the last 30 days you've made $40,000 in a
Yeah.
month, right?
41.
How 41K. And how much did you make prior to joining GCP? What was the most
Yeah.
amount of money you've made cash collected in a month?
Yeah, most I ever made was actually 11,000.
Hmm.
But the worst part of that was it was 11 grand and I felt like an absolute like freelancer and there was no that was the worst part. It was 11 grand, but it was like the amount of work too. Now it's like I just pocketed 40 grand this month and I'm like I have so much free time. I don't really work.
Yeah. Yeah. You got more leverage now from
Yeah,
your pricing.
exactly.
Yeah, let's talk about pricing because that's something that a lot of people who are selling AI. I know there's a bunch of people who are, I personally have yet to talk about AI like, oh, start an AI, this and this, because there's not a lot of use cases, right? And the reason why for you, because if you remember in NBL, I didn't necessarily want you to join GCP, just generally because you've never made more than, I mean, I guess you had made some money, right? But you've never really made money from a consistent thing. You were selling a lot of your time. You were a hustler, right?
Yeah.
Selling $1,000 here, selling it. So you didn't have a specific service of that constant. You didn't have a business. You had a freelance and you had a few gigs and making money, right? So it was really weird for me to be like, okay, but how are we really going to be able to actually deliver value? But when I saw what you were doing and that it was delivering efficiency to a specific industry, I was like, okay, let's go, right? And you were able to make sense of paying the money that it costs to join GCP. But the first thing we did was of course we instead of AI we just actually built other solutions around it, just like a build and release offer, and the next thing, like a few weeks later, you were like, hey, I'm still selling it for cheap. And I was like, just because you still live at your parents and don't have rent to pay and don't have insurance to pay, don't have a bunch of responsibilities, doesn't shouldn't be the reason why you charge as if you don't have responsibilities. Because someone at 16, if you're charging $1,000 for, let's say, 5 hours of work or 6 hours of work, that's still great money,
Yeah.
right? But for me, I was like, well, imagine in my position where I have 100 grand in payroll, 150 grand, 200 grand in payroll. If you give me $1,000, I'll be like, what am I going to do with this?
Yeah.
Right. So I told you, hey, just start charging based on the efficiency you bring to a business. And we were like, hey, if a business is spending 30, 40 grand on setters, and that's 400 grand a year, if you come in and build a dialing AI and you cut down that cost by 90%, you just delivered over $300,000 in value, in efficiency, in cost savings. Charge 50% of the probability of it happening, charge 10% of the probability and the potential. And we arrived to the 10K, 12K. And what happened the next day when you had your next sales call?
Literally, so I was on the Q&A session with Serge, and he
Yeah.
told me, he was like, yeah, Wyatt, you gotta up the prices. And like the next day, I landed a deal for 12K, which was like insane. And it was like funny, like everybody was messaging me. Like I was on that call with where Serge told you to do this. It was like I watched it happen in
Yeah.
real time. So it was pretty sick. Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, if anyone is watching this and you're interested in selling AI, don't, or not just AI, any type of infrastructure that get someone to make more money or get someone to save money, you'd never charge based on your mindset or based on your lifestyle. You charge based on the efficiency and you bring into that company or the growth, right? Which allows you to charge a lot more money, which is kind of like the whole thesis around build and release. We don't charge it based on our time. I could not do anything. I could just work for 2 hours and I could still charge you 50 grand because if that thing I do generates $500,000, why wouldn't you give me 50 grand for that? You know? Okay,
Exactly.
cool. Perfect. Now, let's walk through some of the actual use cases for the AI dialing. Maybe you want to kind of like break down what it actually does for those
Yeah.
who don't understand, who don't know.
Yeah, dude, totally. So essentially, couple main focus points. Number one is cold calling. So you can just upload a list. It can be we can call up to 10,000 people per minute right now, which is pretty insane.
Wow.
Just upload that list in there, connect your Go High level calendar. It's a lot more difficult than that. You got to code a lot of stuff, but on a macro level, connect your Go High level calendar. Call. It's going to start booking appointments. It's going to be like, hey, we have this o'clock or this o'clock. Which one works better for you? Book them straight in. Same thing with like leads that click on ads, so we can connect it with API. So like when somebody submits a Facebook lead form or a ClickFunnels form, immediately calls them literally the second they submit that form, and then does follow-ups after that if they still can't get them to book. Another big thing that I've been seeing a lot of people like really excited about, and it's helped me a lot too with the amount of appointments that I have been getting, is just appointment reminders, like just reminding people
Mm,
automatically 24 hours before, hey, just reminding you of your appointment.
yeah,
Um,
your
Let me know
camera's
if there's any
on.
problems. Yeah, camera just disconnected here. Let me
No, you're
remove
good.
it to the other
That's
one.
good.
So, yeah, that's just like the main use cases that I'm using right now. Uh,
Yeah.
it it's going really good, and people are really excited, especially about the other one where it's like, just appointment reminder. Something so simple like that could drive so much more revenue.
Yeah. And what are some of the, because we're talking about this before this call, what are some of the niches that the verticals that has been working the best? Meaning, what are the niches where it's bringing the most um, cost savings, and getting great results?
Yeah, big main niches is solar, real
Mhm.
estate. We're doing really good as well in the insurance,
Yeah.
dental, any home service. Like home service is huge right now,
Yeah.
but specifically solar, real estate, anything home service like roofing, dental, med spas, like you name it, it's pretty much going to do good.
Yeah.
Anybody who has to book an appointment.
Yeah. Is it because maybe brick and mortar businesses are going after consumers, therefore these consumers aren't used, they don't necessarily keep up with the trends of AI. They can't really tell if it's AI or if it's a human. So people are thinking that they're actually talking to a real human, right?
Yeah, that too, and just the fact that even when people just don't know it's AI because people don't expect it,
Yeah.
unless like you were to like, for example, see my ad where I literally show you a demo of it working, you're
Yeah.
not really gonna know, because people just it's so unexpected.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I've heard the calls, like it's super, it's it's pretty fucking good, right?
Yeah.
Which is good. Yeah, the only limitations that we've seen is that right now it's only in the States that it's dialing.
Yeah, so so it's actually odd. Sometimes we can get a dial to go through in like plus 44 or plus 91, but it's
Yeah.
not consistent. It'll happen sometimes, sometimes it won't. So I
Okay.
think it's more in testing phase.
Okay. Love it. Love it. And okay. So how much time did you, what is the hardest part around selling AI
Yeah,
infrastructure?
hardest part of selling AI is actually there's a couple things. So the main hardest part is just like trying to separate yourself from like the Liam Otleys and stuff where it's like they promote AI automation because like what I sell, even though it may automate your sales process, like it's not Zapier automations with Chat GPT. So it's
Yeah.
like really when people think of AI, that's all they think of because like, AI dollars isn't like something very widespread right now, especially like with how sophisticated it is. It's just really trying to separate yourself from the rest of the people selling AI. But I think like the build and release offer side of things definitely does that because it's like people immediately see the value.
Yeah. So yeah, let's because Liam has been blowing up on YouTube. What is the difference between what is he just showing people how to be systems integrators, literally just
Yeah. Yeah.
put zaps together and then like come into a company and just do a job?
Yeah, but the problem with that is like that's not AI automation, that's just Zapier.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
literally just
Yeah, like
zaps,
he'll
right?
teach things, like he'll make videos about Chat GPT and the new GPTs feature, but it's like, how do you sell that to a business? Like you can build a little chat bot on their website, but at the end of the day, like nobody's gonna pay more than $1,000 for a chat bot, and you're not gonna be able
Yeah.
to really scale that.
Yeah. Because because here's at least my understanding. The only moment where AI becomes something that is expensive and that is worth spending a lot of money on is when it actually completes a job. Like it's solving a problem. If you come in and okay, you connect my Airtable with my onboarding forms and you zap that and then I have a notification, great. But it's like that's just a job. That's just a systems integrator, right? That's a
Yeah.
skill you pay, you acquire, you hire a person for that job. And that job is important to be done in a business, but it's not necessarily the same thing as dialing. The dialing is revenue producing activity, right? Meaning the value it delivers goes infinitely high as you do more of it. Systems integrating is or automating something, it's you do it once, you get value. But that value is not infinite. Like it's not like if you integrate my pipelines or you automate my messaging, I'm not necessarily going to pay you 20 grand because you automated my DMs because there's 100 other people on Fiverr and Upwork who can do that thing in 2 seconds. Therefore,
Yeah.
it's a commodity scale,
Yeah.
right? But I guess, it is a skill. It is valuable to become an automation and a systems integrator. But the reason why I'm actually curious to what you've been doing is because as someone who spends, 30, 40 grand, 50 grand on appointment setters and it's still not efficient,
Yeah.
like lead comes in, call them, hey, we haven't called these leads. Why are we not calling them? An
Yeah.
AI dialer, it's a recurring value providing machine and it converts. Therefore, it makes me money. It's
Exactly.
not an automation. Like it's just not like, okay, cool. Anyway, yeah. So that's why for me, I haven't been talking about it until you brought up this use case, because then I'm like, okay, wow, there's actually real value. We can make a lot of money to a lot of businesses, right? But that's crazy. But should we talk maybe also a little bit about, because we've talked about this before, but how fast Air.ai has grown?
Yeah, dude, it's been insane. So it's like, back when I first used it, when it was still arguably like not Air AI, like it's completely different to what it is now.
Yeah.
Back when it was like scale 13, no name, it was kind of crazy, but it has really grown. Like I said, you couldn't get a single sentence out. Now, like it's to a point where like for example, the other day I was playing around and I wanted to make an AI that admits it's an AI and it's like open about it. Like, hey, I'm an AI chat bot. You just booked a call of tacticalconsulting.io. Like it's so sophisticated to a point to me to even get it to admit it was an AI chatbot. It took like 2 hours of coding to just get it to that point because I had to rewrite a bunch of stuff the air had already put in.
Yeah.
So it's really like at a point where, even like the tech's great and the tech's growing like insanely large. And I'm not sure if I'm really allowed to say this, but I'm gonna say it
Yeah.
anyway because I think I've been given the green flag. Um, they're building their own GPT, so like their own in-house chat GPT. So it's not like connecting APIs anymore. Now it's just going to be all hosted because that's something they were talking about in the All In podcast. Biggest
Mhm.
problem with language models is API response time. So for Air to
Super
fix that,
slow.
they have to bring it in-house, and they got loads of funding to do that, which is going
Yeah.
to be huge for the future of it. But even on like the business side, uh, like just in October, I think they reported they were doing 500K a week, and then in November they ended up doing like 4.9 something, and then in December 11 million. So it's like as a company they've been growing as well. So
Yeah.
it's insane.
Insane. In 1 year, they've like blown up, right?
Yeah.
And we're talking about what are some of the companies that have invested within the Air.ai, by the way?
Yeah, exactly. So you can look it up online. I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, the article exists and you can find it. But it
Yeah.
says like back in January sometime 2023, which was actually when Air was founded, like day one. They actually Amazon invested 15% into Air, like they own 15% of the company from what I
Yeah.
know of. So that's pretty big. And looking back at that, I actually found out how. So a lot of these big tech companies, they actually invest in these startups and offer them free servers because a lot of startups can't
Mhm.
justify paying huge amounts for a startup server that they're not even sure will work out. So I'm assuming that's probably what
Yeah.
Amazon did as well.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Because they own their own
Yeah,
infrastructures, right?
yep,
Um, nice. Nice. Yeah. For me, any company that I see that blows up that fast, I like, okay, there is something here,
yeah.
right? Because 4 mil to 11 mil. And I do think that they might be spending less on advertising than they were before because I don't see their ads as much
It
as
used to
it
be
did. It used
crazy.
to be insane, right? So that means that they've kind of like found product market fit and it's just word of mouth at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And their big thing for them internally is like, yeah, they can have like a million users, but they want to focus more on, okay, how can we get these huge big ticket clients that are really going to actually spend on the platform? So that's something they're targeting as well. And that's
Yeah.
something for me internally. Like I don't want to work with like, for example, a solar company. I'd rather work with an agency who has 20 solar companies that I can go set this up for.
Yeah. 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 1,000%. We're talking about that. Um, Yeah, I think it's gonna be crazy. Do you think, because we were talking about a few use cases, a lot of the clients that you have, the different niches you're working in, they're mainly using it for outbound. You want to kind of like share some of the cost per appointment?
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. My best ever personal thing was the FCC franchise consulting company. Started working with them back in December when I was still charging like early December, so like 1,000. But essentially, when I started working with them, we set it up. We did some outbound dialing, and we were booking appointments for sub $6 to cold leads, U.S. homeowners in medium to high income, trying to get them
Yeah.
to start their first franchise business. Then for other stuff like just in solar, sub $20 appointments, in real estate, sub $25 cold appointments. It's just like it's doing good in cold, but it's like in ads, like it's even better. But cold is doing really good itself.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how right now I'm not necessarily yet implementing it because I still have a lot we're still kind of like dialing in a lot of our dialing, right?
Yeah,
But I'd be curious to see how we can implement it for like a lot of our lead flow
for sure,
in the States. That would be sick.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. So where do you see this trend going? What are
Yeah,
some of your hypotheses?
yeah. My big thing is this comes from the All In podcast as well. Like AI is not a trend, but what is a trend is air, and Chat GPT was a trend. So it's kind of like internet's like the encompassing trend, and then inside of that you have like Facebook ads, which trees off into UpHex instant ads or AdCreative.ai and all these other trends. So it's same thing with AI. So
Mhm.
AI is big right now, and arguably air hasn't even blown up. Like not a lot of people even know about it. Like this podcast is probably going to be some of the most publicity air's had like ever. So it's like, so
Yeah.
it's like air's trending right now, but even beyond air, there's going to be tools, and I definitely want to make some myself where it's just like these AI tools, and like they were saying in the All In podcast, if you can build a AI tool that can replace a company's entire like Slack channel and have it in-house for free and add that to your build and release offer, that's the next step for me. Like I'm going to build this, but then I'm going to build softwares, but not sell it the traditional way. Maybe even figure out a way to connect them with air in some way so it's all congruent,
Yeah.
and package it off in the businesses.
Yeah, yeah. I did write something about that. I do believe that what's happening is AI is almost becoming, it's a platform shift, right? And with platform shifts arise new a new a new opportunity to implement what used to happen a different way and to automate and leverage technology to do the thing from the access of this new platform. So social media allowed us to do door to door, but with creatives and videos and whatever, right? Um, so what's happening is that now with AI is the thing that humans were still only the ones capable of doing. Now we can leverage this new platform shift of AI to replace a lot of the things that previously no other technology could allow us to do as well as humans,
Exactly.
especially specialized talent, right? Like appointment setting, sales, because this is just a bunch of it's a bunch of rules, right? It's a bunch of process and different things that can be taught,
Yeah.
right? The only thing that can't be taught is just like, being human, like
Yeah.
who you are, your personality, right? Your smile or whatever, your thoughts. But anything that is like, hey, I need you to follow this thing specifically, AI is going to be able to do it. Now, the opportunity for us who are selling build and release offers is that no company is going to stop building Slack, running an advertising agency, um, running a coaching business, running a consulting business, um, selling courses, or selling homes or selling cars, and start becoming an AI expert.
Yeah.
So then there's an insane level of people who are seeing the potential. Like for me, I'm spending a lot of money on setters and everything like that. Not that I want to replace my setters, but I just don't want to scale my team when there is a technology that can give me that new bandwidth without having to hire more people. But I'm not an AI expert. So who comes into my business? Well, someone who can build and release the AI infrastructure, then consult us on how to manage the whole thing, which is why I do think that eventually 50% of all the partners we have in GCP are going to be building and releasing infrastructure that are mostly softwares,
Yeah.
right? And the other 50% is going to be talent systems, right? So I do believe that a big chunk, because it's super leveraged, man, right? So we
Ex-
can build like insane, like 500K, $1 million a month, relatively fast and easy because it's just code, right?
Exactly.
Um,
That's what Air did. That's what Air did with their 4 million a month coaching
that's crazy.
program.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited, man. I mean, we're already seeing it. You're 16, 40K a month in your first month in the program. That's insane. That is actually insane.
Yeah, bro.
So
It's gonna be huge. Like, and this
it's
is
gonna
just
be,
the beginning. Like I told you, bro. And when I can build up that leverage with more money and build my
yeah.
own softwares, integrate it, like it's gonna be insane.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm really excited for this year to see how. I don't know when I'm going to be releasing this podcast. I'm going to be releasing it once we actually have a proper way to support anyone who's selling AI infrastructures, and once we have a proper roadmap. Um, because if I do release it, then a bunch of people are now going to be like, I want to sell AI, or they're going.
Yeah,
Maybe
and then
some
they're
people are
gonna go
already
to my
selling it.
channel and realize it's
Yeah,
way harder than they thought. Yeah.
yeah. So like, we need to have a proper roadmap, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, no, cool. Love it. So 3 things we talked about. Remove yourself from fulfillment. So there's just to get clarity, maybe give you guys a little bit of clarity. Since Wyatt was the expert who does the actual integration and all that good stuff, he can't scale himself. He can't scale a business. Even if AI, the trend and the demand is super high, he actually can't make more than like 40K a month or 50K a month.
Yeah.
So he needs to automate lead gen. He needs to remove himself from selling, appointment setting. He can't be doing that anymore. He has the dialing, but the dialing doesn't dial all countries. And he needs to find an operator so he can really step back, be content creating, and focusing on just strategic focus for his clients and hiring. So walk us through who you've hired so far after being in GCP.
Yeah, so big hires have actually came in. Shout out to all of them. Number one is Fahad. He's an absolute killer. He's been around with me in air. I actually remember him from the beta test. Honestly, I have no clue how he got in,
Mhm.
but he got in somehow, and he just randomly cold outreached me, and I'm like, dude, I need somebody ASAP. That is perfect. And
Yeah.
I've been working with him. He's an absolute killer. And then on top of that, next hire was actually Curtis. He says he's met you, Serge,
Yep.
in real
He's a
life.
client.
So
Yep.
he's in NBL right now. I do know that also, but he essentially cold outreached me. Hey, bro, I'm looking for a closing job. I saw like super long ago you put in a request inside of NBL if anybody knew any good closers. I was like,
Mhm.
dude, perfect. Bringing him on the team, and then the most recent one is Dolly. So Regs actually hooked me up with her. She's insane too. Like I remember, so she's helping me manage my Facebook group and my community,
Nice,
and
nice.
getting all that set up. She like I didn't answer her for one day, and then she sent like a SpongeBob waiting meme and said, "I'll be waiting for you." Wow, I'm like, dang, she needs to get on the messenger.
Love it, love it, love it. And then yeah, because for me, one of the things that I realized with GCP is that scaling doesn't happen from like us sitting there and trying to teach you. No, let's actually build you an organization.
Yeah,
Because once you've found a really dialed in built offer that is working and you can sell it, now is not the time to be like, oh, let me do outreach myself. Oh, let me close this deal. F that. Like, let's build an actual million, eight-figure business as fast as possible. And the way you do it is you source talent, right? That's something that we focus on with a lot of our partners, right? Which is funny because a lot of people are like, oh, but Serge is selling a course. I'm like, yeah, right. Okay.
yeah, not a course, bro.
Okay. Yeah, if it's a course, then why am I getting paid on your growth? Like why would someone give you rev share off of a course? But let's, okay, cool. For anyone who's interested in Air That AI or selling dialers, you guys can go check out Wyatt's channel. I'll probably be releasing a lot more stuff on it too, a little bit as we, see more success with it. But I want to talk more on the personal side.
Totally.
How, so just walk me through because you're 16. How are you living life now? Like, what's your mind about? Are you still going to school? Did you quit school? What's going on? Yeah, walk me through that.
I don't like arguing, but it's nightly conflicts, not conflicts, but like not arguing either. But it's like, every night I'm like, come on, mom. I make 40 grand in a month.
Yeah,
My teachers make that in a year. Can I skip school today and work on the business? She's like,
yeah,
no, you got to get your diploma. But like, uh, I really haven't increased any of like my living things. Like I'm investing in a nice setup. Some of it's behind me. I've been working with some guys. That's a powerful thing about GCP too, like the connections. Like I needed a new setup. I just contacted Jay. He's a producer. He hooked me up with the best camera that fits my needs for my budget, best lighting. That's all coming in soon.
yeah.
So that's something I've invested in. I drink San Pellegrino now because I like it. So, and I don't expect my parents to spend $1.15 per water bottle. So I buy that with my own money. But other than that, bro, every
That's gotta be the
everything else,
funniest thing.
yeah, everything else is straight back into a business, paying for ads, paying
Love
for
it.
better content and that sort of thing.
Love it. I think someone has leveled up in their tax bracket when they start drinking different water.
Yeah,
That's legendary. Next time we're gonna have you in a Rolex and the different shoes that are like $1,000. But no, man. One advice I can give you is, I mean, which is by the way, you're already doing great by reinvesting in your business instead of necessarily like upgrading your lifestyle and things that have no ROI. You know, you're it's rare that you'll meet a 16-year-old who's focused on actually the long term, right? Like I don't even know how you ended up in GCP, but which is why I said at the beginning, like your decision making process is insane for you being 16.
Thank you, bro.
At 16, I wasn't making the decisions you're making. Like, so that shows that age is nothing but a number. It doesn't mean anything, right? I'm sure there's someone out there who's smoking weed and saying, "Oh, I'm just 16," you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're out here, balling and building $500,000 companies. So it's like, wow,
Yeah, dude.
beautiful.
It's pretty
So
awesome. Big thing for me though, is I gotta get out of school soon. I gotta go move to Thailand or something.
yeah, don't
Yeah.
move. You know what? What would actually be my advice to you is because when you're still with your family, so there's two things. Unless your family like kind of like keeps you from doing the thing,
Oh no, they
then
don't.
that's a red flag. But if you can get your parents to be understanding and believe in you, stay home and stay grounded. Because when you're home and when you're near family, you just keep the main thing the main thing. I'm sure the city you live in is probably not crazy. There's
Yeah,
not a
it's not
lot
a
going
city, bro.
on.
I live in the middle of a farm, dude. That's the crazy.
Perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. As long as you have internet and a farm,
Yeah.
there's no distraction. If you move to Bali with the money you're making, it's gonna get to your head, and you're gonna try to go chase women. Even though you're 16, you're still a man, so I know how dudes be. So
Yeah.
I don't suggest you don't move, man. Like
I won't. Yeah, I like that advice.
stay in your office. Don't move until you clear 1 million, maybe a few. Don't get distracted, man, because you get one shot at this. I don't
Yeah.
know, I probably told you this before, but the reason why I'm so urgent to every partner that we work with is because once you found something good, you don't sleep until you make millions.
Yeah.
Now is not the time for you traveling. If
I
we do retreats, you can come, but no, stay home, collect money, right? I made ridiculous amounts of money before moving out. I mean, I was a little older than you, right? But I was making 40K a month for like months before I even moved out. And the reason why I moved out is because they were trying to get me to do the dishes. And I'm like, man, that's like I'm making thousands of dollars an hour. You're trying to make me clean the dishes. Like that's crazy, you know?
That's how I feel, bro. Yeah.
So just tell your parents, like, hey guys, I'll hire everybody. I'll hire people to come in and do the job at home, but please don't get me because you guys are costing me thousands of millions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
But no, man, super proud of you.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, super proud of you. Super, I know it's not easy too. I'm sure it's not like a lot of people may see the numbers, but they don't probably see the amount of hours you
Oh
spend on
yeah.
the
It's
computer.
insane. Like I don't sleep anymore, bro. Like I got a walk-in treadmill, desk raises up. I
Yeah,
walk in work. Like it's probably gonna damage my eyes when I'm older, but it's like
yeah. Should buy some blue light blockers.
I was thinking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's worth it. That's worth it. But yeah, man, I'm super excited. Again, one of the focus that we had was um giving you access to talent to scale your integration, right? Finding VAs for you. So we're gonna be I know Reg was looking through the actual SOPs that you shared, right? Did she get back to you by the way on that?
I don't think she did.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow up after this call just to see what you thought of the integration and the SOPs and what kind of talent we can source
Awesome.
to train on that so you can be able to serve more clients. Because at the end of the day, like what's gonna limit you to get to 400K a month is actually just your back end. Like it's not necessarily the offer, it's not marketing, it's not sales. It's gonna be like, hey, we can't actually deliver.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
for me, I don't want that being the case. So like, yeah, I'm gonna push my team so we can get you some talent.
Dude, that's awesome. Thank you, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. That's gonna be
Love it.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once we imagine we have like 100 VAs implementing these AI
All of them
drivers.
are like air experts. I can just place
Yeah,
them straight into companies. That'd be insane.
that would be insane. That would be legendary. Cool. Love it. Awesome. We'll most likely have another chat, maybe like a month from now or a few months. uh After, and then we'll release that talk after from the research we've acquired. But what would you say was your experience in GCP or even NBL, just working with the, because you don't necessarily work a lot with me, it's also with the team, right? So how is it, how has your experience been?
the team's been insane. It's like before NBL, like it was so like solo mode, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And then when I joined NBL, that was great. And I got like, it was almost like that intro, but then to the next level on GCP, like Casey's awesome. He's constantly hyping everybody up. And then like Hassam is like insane. Brandon's insane, like Hassam and Brandon on like the consulting side when it
Mhm.
comes down to like really planning everything out, dialing in that offer when I initially joined. That's
Yeah.
insane. Shannon's a beast at ads. We're gonna have like some crazy campaigns coming on soon.
Yeah.
It's just like the whole team. Regs is insane. Like it's like it's very like I think you've said this before, but it's like I almost like me and like 20 other guys can crowdfund having a plus team instead of us having to pay 150 grand in payroll.
Yeah.
It's like I literally get access to a whole team of everybody who specializes in one specific field, and they're like insane at it.
Yeah. 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 And that's the goal. That's the goal. And I actually think that before the end of this quarter, I'm gonna make minimum entry to GCP to be making 50 grand a month.
Damn, yeah, that's
Cause
sick.
that, cause I'm unleveraged. I mean, at least you're good, right? At least you're
Yeah,
doing fine. But because our leverage, like 1 times 0 is 0, right?
yeah,
But 1 times 50 grand a month is 50 grand a month. If you do times 2 is 100 grand a month. So the multiplier is dependent on what is the potential of the thing we're multiplying, right? Now
yeah,
you came in, you know you got a trend going on, so it's super easy to scale you. But I wanna make sure that every partner is at least 500,000, and then we just scale it much faster,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Um, but no, man, yeah, hopefully we'll make GCP the best partnership program out there.
Oh, it
Um,
is. It is already, bro. I'm telling you,
yeah,
it's insane.
let's go, let's go. Yeah, and then for anyone watching this, um, if you're guys, I don't necessarily suggest you guys jump on this trend unless you have nothing going on and you're just a beginner. Cool, maybe start getting familiar with AI, but do not stop what you're doing to go into AI. Like that's the wrong thought process. Never stop anew. Always leverage some new technology to embellish your offer, but do not start anew because that's just dumb, right? There's a learning curve. There's a lot of that. So we're eventually once this releases, we're gonna have an offer for you guys to see who can scale. But if you do have an AI offer already and you're delivering great results, please bring it up to us. We love scaling AI offers. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, man. All right, cool. I'll let you drink your water. I'll let you get back to work, and then we'll chat very soon. Thank you guys for anyone who's watched this. Appreciate y'all, and Wyatt, have an amazing day.
You too, man.
Appreciate you, man. Bye bye.
Bye.